That's right. I'm back. And this is a movie review for the movie Lamb by A24. I'm here with Josh.
It's Josh.
We are the ones who watched it.
The only ones.
Nobody else did. So, not to say that they didn't want to.
No, I think it's because they didn't want to.
I don't know. We'll find out, though, eventually. I think Brandon watched a little bit of it. Tyler, I'm not sure. I think he's already seen it.
Has he?
I don't know. I feel like he has, but
No one gave us their scores. But I'm
good.
very interested in yours once we get through this.
So, Lamb, an A24 film, and nothing like I thought it was going to be.
So I knew nothing about this until, 3 days ago when you were like,
Yeah.
let's review
Let's
Lamb.
watch Lamb, yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is Lamb about?
So, the trailers, and this is going to be spoilers, by the way. There's no getting around it. There's just spoilers in this video. So, if you have not seen it, then maybe don't watch this. The trailers don't portray the Lamb being a kid at all.
It doesn't?
At all. Like, not once does it even hint at it. Other than the fact that she's going through some PTSD, obviously because some kind of miscarriage or something, and she takes in a lamb and treats it as a kid, and then fucked up shit happened. Nothing like what happened in this movie. This movie kind of blew me away in the fact that I went in
Thinking one thing,
yes,
and it was something completely
a whole
different.
Other movie. Like, the vibes were still there. The cinematography,
Great.
per A24
Yes.
film, is
That
amazing.
was the biggest plus for me, was how it was filmed.
This is an Icelandic film. They wanted to make sure that the whole movie was shot in and language-wise in Icelandic.
So it was all shot.
So it was all shot.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think the first, I don't want to say big budget, but the first like big Hollywood movie that's like purely Icelandic. I don't think any others have done that. But yeah, so I love the fact that it takes place in Iceland and they speak Icelandic. There's none of that English bullshit. Like,
Which, there's not that much dialogue
No,
in this movie.
it's a very-
for an almost 2-hour movie. Like when you really look at it, they really don't speak a lot. It's a lot of like watching like
I'd say like
expressions
10 to
and
15
like
minutes of this whole film is dialogue.
yeah,
The rest of
it's
is-
an hour and 47 minutes. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's which that's one thing A24 is so good at, like with when they pick their directors and everything, is like they don't normally have to have dialogue. Have you seen A Ghost Story?
Mm-mm.
Okay. That movie has like, I don't know, well, it's got like a whole like 10-minute monologue in it, but there's like almost no dialogue in the movie. But it gets its point across, and that's usually what A24 does, is they don't need dialogue because they're so intimate with the characters, and the cinematography alone kind of gets you in the vibe of like what's going on, and you can read and see what happened,
Yeah, which they do in this movie.
Yeah, because you have no
Too.
idea who these people are, what's wrong with them or anything, but just because of like mannerisms that they would do toward each other, and like a little bit of like the looks and the happiness, but really there's a deep sadness behind them. Like you could tell some kind of miscarriage or some kind of something to do with the child happened, and then the lamb happens.
Yep. Which it's like, so I didn't see any of the trailers, so I didn't have that perspective going into it. My
Right.
perspective was the Rotten Tomatoes description that or was it Wikipedia that Brandon sent in the group, which says they have a lamb human hybrid or whatever. So I knew right off the
See,
bat
I never saw anything like that.
that's what I was going into. So when the one lamb gives birth and they pick it up, I was like, there it is. That's the lamb kid or whatever. But they don't actually show it
No.
until like 40-something
Yeah,
minutes
well,
in,
yeah.
and it's a real quick view of it, and then it's not until it grows up to be 5, 6, 7, whatever, that you're actually seeing more of
whole
the
body
lamb
of-
kid
yeah.
with one hand and one hoof.
Yeah, I like the concept. I like what they were trying to do 100%. Some things just kind of missed with me. Like the whole concept of, well, the brother being involved, I didn't really see much of a point as to why he needed to be essential in this movie, because, I mean, as far as like his character importance goes, it's only like really the scene where he attempts to kill,
Which I thought he
Dwayne.
was, and I was like,
yeah.
that's why he's being introduced.
Right.
He's gonna, but then he didn't
And
do it, and I was
So then his character I wouldn't say became pointless, but to me, I didn't see a reason for him to be in the movie.
I agree with that.
Um,
And what was up with him and did they have sex
yeah, I
beforehand? Did
think
they have
they've definitely had an affair before.
and his brother doesn't know?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, because she played it off like, stop, we've had such a good evening. So like, so I mean, they've done it before. It's 100%. And I was wondering if they were going to bring that kind of bullshit into play, because I hate when movies do that. But they played it really well. She locked him in the fucking
that
room,
closet?
and that was
Yeah.
awesome, dude. I was like, oh, good.
Yeah, because I thought she was giving in at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But then she opened that door and, yeah.
Yeah.
It was very sly.
Oh, her, or him, her. I can't remember which one did it. Killed the mom, the mother lamb. 'Cause she
It was
kept trying to go back.
it was the girl.
Okay, yeah, the mom.
Yeah, because it kept coming to that window, like,
Yep.
give me my child back.
Which was creepy.
You kidnapped my kid, like I want it back.
I will say there's two scenes. There's the one scene with, like, I guess you would call him the Emperor Lamb, where he's like in the fog and he looks like he's got the real big and his like chest is opening when he's like breathing and shit. You know which one I'm talking about? But then you get the one with all the lambs, like glowing eyes and shit. I did not like that. Like, that didn't do anything for me. Like, I figured that would be like a creepy scene. Should have been, but it wasn't.
Yeah, this movie is marketed as a horror movie.
Yeah,
but
I
there's
wouldn't
not
say.
very many horror aspects really at all. Like, nothing really scary happens, and it's more creepy just thinking about.
Or just more of like a mind fuck.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite scenes was kind of before the scene where she was like, "We had such a good evening." It's after they were watching the handball, and then they lost, and she put on the music video of his brother or whatever, and they were just kind of dancing around and having a good time. I liked when he got up there and was like mimicking the video, him in the video from years ago. That kind of had a nice vibe to that scene.
Yeah, the chemistry between Naomi Repis and I don't know who this Eve Gon or whatever his name is, they had really good chemistry, because that also goes one-on-one with the not needing dialogue to move a scene forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, them two, they have to have that chemistry or else it won't work. And I thought it was
80% of the movie. Is
Yeah.
like both of
them
them
two.
are on screen. Yeah.
But yeah, really weird movie, which is typical for A24. The ending, I don't know what the fuck happened, dude. Like, what is that? Like, a
Yeah,
man
where-
goat or a man lamb comes up and shoots him in the neck, shoots him in the chest, and then
Takes a kid.
walks off with the kid. Like, what does that mean? Like,
Which, so, and I don't know if it was meant to be obvious or if I'm overlooking it. Did the goat dad or whatever kill the other guy with the gun that the mom shot the other sheep with?
That's what it looked like,
did
was
it
implied.
circle, full
Yeah,
circle?
but how? How is
Yeah,
it
how
going
did
to
he-
pick up a gun? Even if it wasn't a man, because it's all, the lamb kid is just a lamb. It's a baby lamb, but they see it as a lamb boy or whatever, because it's not really a hybrid. Like, that's all in hers and his head.
Is
Because
it though?
The brother was like, it's just a sheep, or it's just a lamb. Like, I don't understand. You know what you're chirping. Well, I guess it could be ambiguous. Is it real? Is it
Because
not?
then what's
But where would the man lamb come from? There was too much. I think too many things untied. Maybe we needed to know more about the lambs. I don't fucking know. The ending confused me too much. I was not a fan of that.
the whole movie's really weird.
It is. I fuck with it up until about the end.
So the end is the point that lost you?
No. I got a little bit lost throughout the movie, but not. It's A24, so I always give it the benefit of the doubt. But there were scenes that kept me in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not afraid. Like, I'll turn a movie off if I think it's like horrible and atrocity. But this movie did have its moments where it kept me in tune with the movie, where it was like, okay, I got to know what's going on here. Where's this going to lead?
So
All
yeah,
that
so like
jazz.
for me, it kept me in because I I kept waiting for something to happen,
Right.
but nothing really ever happened.
Other than that,
So-
Lamb getting shot really was like the most intense scene.
Yeah, and then something else I just kind of thought of, kind of tying into what you were saying about the brother being kind of pointless. His whole like shipped off scene or whatever, where she like woke up and was
Yeah.
like, "Get your stuff, we're going," and
Yeah,
like
it
dropped
made
him off
me-
at a bus stop, and like they made like, I don't know, it just felt very awkward how the whole
I
brother
wish it had
thing
been an
really played out.
off-screen thing. Like he just left.
Yeah,
I'd be more happy with that. But yeah, dude, I don't know, man. What are you giving it score-wise?
are we ready to jump to score? Biggest thing this movie has going for it, well, we already hit on the cinematography.
Absolutely.
It's
Some
beautiful,
of
it's flawless. But other than that, there's really not a lot for me, particularly, that draws me into this movie. I can see how they're, like you, are probably going to give it a higher score, and I understand that. But for me personally, I'm sitting at like a 4. I'm going to go even 4. And
can't get mad at you for
3.8
that.
of that is cinematography.
That's okay. That's
And the ending-
props to the cinematography.
Yeah, the ending, like you said, I don't know.
Yeah, cinematography was amazing. I really liked Naomi Repas's character. I liked her acting in it. I liked the husband. I was mixed on him too. At the same time, the brother didn't care about. The story was very interesting, but ultimately had no climax, had no closure.
Yes.
At least one that's not satisfying. And as much as it hurts my soul to do it, I have to give this movie like a 5.7. And that's probably the lowest I've given an A24 film.
We need to rank all the A24 films
I
one
have
day.
them on
That'll
my
be
phone
that can
all-
be a good episode one.
Dude, that would
One
be
week.
crazy.
All right, anything else to add in about this?
Watch Lamb, see what you think.
Yeah.
See if you
All
like
right.
it.
Peace. We love you guys.
Yeah.